welcome in everybody for the good of all Cree.
For the good of all Cree.
Welcome into another episode, a little bit later than we normally do, but another episode of the Disney Movie Review. Daniel, I think this is episode 5 or 6 in a row, right? We're rocking and rolling.
I think it's 6 in a row.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, man, what a great time. But today we are going to be discussing the one, the only Disney movie review of The Haunted Mansion.
When you say the one and only,
the one and only.
Well, I think we're giving it too much praise.
Well, we'll see. I guess we'll find out in just a few minutes. But we're going to review this movie. We're going to go over it. We're going to give you a little bit of tidbits, and then we'll kind of break down the plot, and then we'll give our letter grades, just like we always do, and then we'll get your letter grades in the chat. But before we even get started, Daniel, how you doing, buddy? Missed you. How's your week been?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's been a really good week. Obviously, Disney being Disney, they've started the Halloween season early, which is kind of ironic how we pulled this out of the box. So it's kind of good that we are doing this.
I agree. Anything coming up? Anything coming? Anything we need to know about?
Possibly. Maybe it will be a spooky surprise a little later.
Okay, gotcha. Good.
That's basically me saying no.
No. There you go. Let's do a little bit of quick housekeeping. Everybody, be sure to check out Dean over at theliveplace.com for family-friendly streams. He has like over 120 streamers out there over at The Live Place. So if you're looking for a certain person, certain time of the day, certain genre, it's not all Disney, check out The Live Place. He is your TV guide for live streams. 4 partner channels. This guy right here is one of them. Disney Dan. He was actually first, if I'm not mistaken. He goes live, of course, with me on Wednesdays and sometimes on Saturdays. Be sure to check out Dan.
I'm doing the hitchhiking boys wave.
Steve's World. Check Steve out just on another Monday nights. Steve's World. Desire Dream goes live on Thursdays and the weekends. Check them out. And, of course, Pete McDevitt is live every day. He's probably live now. Also, our members, thank you to all of our members for your extra generosity and loyalty. You are the ones that help this channel become what it becomes. Without you, we're not able to do what we do. So thank you to all of our members for your extra generosity and loyalty. Magic of the Mouse Radio, I don't have a banner for them, but check out Magic of the Mouse Radio as well. And all of our mods, thank you for being here. All right, Daniel.
We've forgotten something.
Oh, yes. Oh, and our newest sponsor for this week, Dan.
Well, let me tell you something. Because obviously Walt is super, super busy with streaming. I'm actually on the other end of the calls for this Disney movie review show. So I get calls a lot of the time. And actually, this phone call came in maybe an hour or 2 ago. So really, really super late. But I found something really, really, really special. Okay.
Nice.
And it appealed to me because I'm a foodie. So this week's Disney movie review is proudly sponsored by the horrifically delicious hitchhiking cones. The hitchhiking cones are hand scooped with your favorite foolish flavors to suit all mortals. From creepy cookies and cream to soulless strawberry. How about a brutal banana or vanishing vanilla?
Oh, I want that one.
It's really good. I've tried it in the hour that they called me.
It's so good it vanishes.
Very quickly. So hurry back. Don't forget to bring your appetite certificate, as hitchhiking cones are a dessert to die for.
Nice. I love it. Look at that. And there it is, the hitchhiking cones. That's an awesome sponsor. Be sure to check them out at your local ice cream parlor, I'm sure.
Not Al's Toy Barn.
Yeah, not Al's Toy Barn. Anyway, guys, welcome in again. Let me just say this. I love that sponsor. It's one of my favorites. We've got
some really good ones.
We have had some good ones. I'm sure at some point we'll have some. No, we probably won't have any repeats.
Hey, Pizza did a great job last week.
Oh, yes, for sure. They were fun. 2003 Haunted Mansion. This movie, Daniel, is almost 20 years old already. Now, 20 years old. Now, I have to say it is starring Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy's not as relevant today, but 20 years ago, Eddie Murphy was still a relevant box office draw. Okay, he was still a pretty big star. So 2003 is when this movie came out, starring Eddie Murphy, Terrence Stamp, Wallace Shawn's in there, a few others. I got to go over a few things with you guys. The box office for this movie was 182 million. Not terrible. 75 million domestically, 106 million internationally, 182 million on a $90 million budget. So they made money.
It made double.
Yeah, it made money. Now, this is where it starts to kind of, it's cracks in it. The audience score.
That was a close one.
Yeah, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 30. Okay,
and the Metascore on IMDb is 34. Right,
and the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 14. 14.
And it's not like golf where it's lower the better. It's
no.
It's out.
Not here. Not here. But so we're not off to a really great start, but it is what it is. Oh, and you know what, Dan? I gotta say hi to people in the chat. I almost forgot, but real fast. Jack Sandy Claus Logan, welcome in. Samantha Lowe, Mandy Adams, Mike Wazowski, Craig's Robotics, Size in the house. Victor Fall here. Hey, Victor, good to see you. Hatbox Ghost appropriately is here. Let's see who else is here. We got Jeannie 52573 is here. I almost forgot you guys. Hannah Waghorn is in the house. Leanne Sherrick is here. We also have Movie Mania. Nick Megan is here. AB is here. Kelsey Elizabeth is here. Let's see who else. Rick's Theme Park Adventures is here. Lampwick Lounge, who Melissa and I got to meet in the park the other day. Always to see both of them. Thank you for taking time to see Melissa and I at Hollywood Studios the other day. It was great. Let's see. We also have in the house. I think that might be Eden Current. There's Melissa is here.
There's a load coming in.
Yeah, and Christine Hickman is here. Mike Beachman is here. Stacy Bailey, Andrew Simpson. We have Mike, Stacy Bailey. I got to say hi to Paul Engels here. Jeanette Sebastian the Crab is here. I think Keith BDF, Jasmine Williams.
Rebecca
V.
V.
Got a lot of folks in here. Rebecca V. Who'd I miss?
Douglas Bailey.
Douglas Bailey is here as well. And I think we're up to date.
Wow, we're nearly at 99 happy viewers here.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, let's see if we can get to 99. Peggy Wimple's here too. Good to have you in. All right, Dan. 2003 Haunted Mansion. So let's kind of get this started. So the story that they're telling, they actually start telling the story right from the very beginning with the opening credits as they're talking about who stars in the movie. You get these little flashbacks from what I'm considering a time long ago. Okay? Back in
Renaissance period.
Renaissance period for sure. 1700s, 1800s probably, right? Maybe 1600s, maybe?
1700s.
Yeah, right, for sure. Obviously in the U.S., it's based in the U.S. We're getting this somewhat Romeo and Juliet failed love story as we're rolling the opening credits, okay? And what it's basically telling is of this man who was in love with this woman. And again, back then, there are no telephones and things like that. Cabbage Merchant, welcome in. Good to see you. He falls in love with her. We think she falls in love with him, but we're not sure. But as they are rolling those credits, you see that he's getting a letter from her. It looks like it's a suicide letter. And she takes, and just like in Romeo and Juliet, she takes the poison in the drink, poisons herself, and she dies.
Yep.
And of course, he is upset with this, very rightfully so. He's in love with her, and she's now gone. He tries to live on, but he ultimately can't. And what does he do in typical Haunted Mansion fashion?
He has a hitchhiking cone. No, he
plays hangman.
He plays hangman.
And loses. And he lost. Yep. And what's really neat about this is they do have a lot of nods to the ride right away. Him hanging himself is the nod from the stretching room where we see the scene above the ceiling.
You get the music as well.
Yep, it starts with "Welcome, Foolish Mortals." Really good nods to the ride for sure. And remember, it was a ride first. They did the movie afterwards, just like Pirates. They tried to cash in on the success that they had with Pirates,
and they're still doing it
with Haunted Mansion.
And they're still doing it.
Yeah, and well, they are. They really are. And
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise. Big Thunder's coming. And look, I'm okay with it if it works. Pirates worked. Pirates worked. It's a huge, phenomenal franchise now. It worked for the first few movies.
I'm just waiting for the Enchanted Tiki Room movie.
Oh, man, that would be kind of cool, actually. So, Wayne, hey, Wayne, welcome in. He says, hi, guys. I watched the Haunted Mansion movie when I was 18 from Winnie the Pooh Visits the Haunted Mansion. Okay. I'm not sure I understand that comment. Wayne, you may have to explain that one to me. Sounds like a Romeo and Juliet story. Nick, to a little bit, it kind of is. But so, you know, the credits have rolled, and we start right out with, and again, it's been over a week since I watched it, so I might be a little fuzzy, but we start out seeing Eddie Murphy right away. His name of him, he is Evers and Evers. Evers and Evers Realty. I love the name. I really thought that was cool. I like the way they did that. Actually, no, it doesn't start out like that. They start out with a boy on a bike. Looks like he's delivering papers, but he's actually delivering flyers. And he bikes up to the Haunted Mansion. And this is years later. This is present time now. And he gets off his bike and he looks in, and this ghost or spirit comes right at him. And it's kind of a jump scare. I forgot about it. And it scares him, and he falls, and all of his flyers that he had fall out of his bag, and he just hightails it out of there, leaving all the flyers behind. And you see one of the flyers, and the flyers is Eddie Murphy and his wife pictured, and it says Evers and Evers Realty. And that's what they do. They are realtors. I like how that starts, because what that does is it gives us a premise behind where we're going next.
Yeah.
What about you? I mean, again, for what it's worth, I got to say hi to Vicky, Paulie, and Christina Loud. Welcome in. Good to have you here. Just joining. Hi, Walt. Welcome in to both of you. Now we do get to Dan. This is where we get to Eddie Murphy selling homes. So he's at his first home with this family. The husband doesn't like the house. The wife does. They're kind of
not enough plugs in the
not enough outlets or plugs. He doesn't like it. She's like, this is the 8th house we've seen. You find something wrong with all of them. And then, of course, Eddie Murphy's wife calls him while he's talking to them. He makes it seem like it's another interested buyer. And he's a workaholic. That's what he is. I mean, he's into his work to the neglect of his family. His kids, his wife, kind of neglected a little bit because he's so into his work. Wendy Blogs, welcome in. And Jane and Travels, welcome in. Good to have you here. So he says, did Dan Aykroyd make a cameo in this movie as a Ghostbuster like he did in Casper? He did not. No. Mark Langenkamp, welcome in. So I like that little scene with his wife where he says,
just give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sure. I'll keep going while he's doing that. So ultimately, that's what this is about. It's about Eddie Murphy being a workaholic with his family. His wife is in the business with him. Again, it's Evers and Evers Realty. We want to help you find that home for Evers and Evers. I love it. I think that part's really cool. So finally, he comes home. He's supposed to meet her for dinner out as a way to kind of, just let's get away from the business a little bit. Let's have dinner. And he takes the house he was selling. He sold it. He now taken the papers from the buyer, giving it to the seller to sign the papers. While he's there, another family says, "Oh, you sell homes?" And he's like, sorry, honey. And he doesn't make the dinner with his wife. And of course, she's very upset. And he's like, look, okay, no business this weekend. We're going to go away. Just me, you, and the kids. We're going to the beach. Great. Well, he gets a phone call. He gets a phone call from Terrence Stamp saying, hey, we got this huge home. And of course, Terrence Stamp is this freaky, really creepy. We're talking about Terrence Stamp makes the phone call to Evers and Evers Realty and says, hey, I'm trying to sell this mansion. And of course, he is the butler at the mansion. And it's a huge mansion. So they're like, okay, fine. Look, it's on our way to the beach. We'll stop by. We'll take a look. And that's what they do. They're in the car. The humor for me, again, this is 20 years ago, so I'm going to take that into account here. The humor is not great. Eddie Murphy is really good in some roles. There are other roles Eddie Murphy's not that good in. I wasn't as happy with him in this role. Gail, welcome in, by the way. Got to say hi to Gail real fast. And also CNR Bloomers, welcome in. There they are. There's Gail. There's Gail. She says, I love this version. I've watched it multiple times with my daughter. Good. I'm glad you like it. Dan, you doing good? You all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm struggling a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Well, if you wanna tap out, I totally get it. I know Dan's kind of a little bit under the weather, gang. I can do this solo if you want, and then what I can do is next week we can give your review of it. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, you could do that.
All right, I'll go solo.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sorry, everybody in the chat. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just feeling really like hot, sweaty, like flustered, and yeah.
Is Hannah calling you into the other room?
No, genuinely,
Oh,
I'm so sorry, dude.
I'm
sorry, everybody in the chat. Like this, because this is my favorite night of the week, and
if you're not feeling well, you're not feeling well. That's all right. That's all right. No problem at all. All right, everybody. So say goodbye to Dan in the chat. Everybody,
very quickly, guys. This is what we're gonna do. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be like a 2-minute stream. I'm just going to pull the next movie out of there. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna. I'm away this weekend. We're staying on property, but I'll try to come in for a couple minutes and see if I can.
I'll let you know. So I'm so sorry. Like,
no, go do your thing, and I'm going to do my review of it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it because I want to talk to everybody in the chat anyway. Mask up, Dan, and feel better.
All right. Yeah. Nice. Thank you, guys. Sorry.
All right.
And
no. Feel better.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye. So it's a solo stream. Anyway, for those that haven't seen it, they're going their way to see the mansion. And again, he's that workaholic. So they get there, and of course it looks run down, but it's huge. And he's like, oh my gosh, hon, we got to get in. Let's just get in. We'll see the house for a few minutes. From there, we'll get out of here and we'll be off on our way. Well, they can't get in. They finally get in. They go up to the door. They're there. A couple of little, jokes here and there. Again, they're okay. It's not great. It's not great jokes. Charles Richardson, welcome in. Good to have you here. Thanks for being here. But it's good, clean fun for sure. So they go up to the door. Terrence Stamp answers, and he's a little upset because he expected it to just be the wife, whose name escapes me. If anybody in the chat knows her name, her character name, please let me know. He's expecting it to just be the wife. And the reason why he's expecting it to be the wife is because Eddie Murphy's wife looks just like Elizabeth. Master Gracie, because that's the guy who hung himself, that's the person he was in love with back in the 1700s or whatever. She looks just like him. Two real geeks. What's up, Danny? Welcome in. Sitting at work watching you. Well, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. So he was expecting it to just be the wife, but it wasn't. It was all of them. He invites everybody in, and they go inside. And now, Sarah Evers. Thank you. Her name was Sarah. Thank you, Kelsey. I couldn't remember her name. I knew it was Evers. I just couldn't remember her first name. So thank you, Hannah, as well. So they go inside and they're looking at the house, and it's beautiful. Obviously, it's got cobwebs everywhere. It looks like your normal haunted mansion, but beautiful. I would love to live there, by the way. I love it. And, of course, she's like, oh, my God, hon, we could make a fortune with this house. We got to look at these different rooms. And they're there, and Terrence Stamp shows them around and says, look, the master would like to meet with you to go over the sale of the house. And then, of course, the gentleman that's playing Master Gracie comes down, and he sees her right away. And, he kind of he sees the resemblance right away, and he thinks it's Elizabeth the whole time. This is where the movie, for me, gets a little funky. It kind of loses its way. At this point, what we have with this movie is we have Terrence Stamp is ultimately the bad guy in this. And I'm sorry, I'm going to kind of improvise a little bit with Dan not being here. I don't have my yin to my yang to help me with this. Terrence Stamp is ultimately trying to get her to be with Master Gracie so they can lift the curse and they can all move on. But the only way to do that is for her to have to marry him. And then, of course, she'll have to die because she has to be a ghost. Throughout this, we have all these different, little, which I think are kind of kooky and corny jokes running back and forth. Eddie Murphy's trying to save her. He's not able to do it. The kids are there to help save her. We have Madame Leota in this as well, who's played by Jennifer Tilly. And again, I'm not really a big fan of that casting. Now, it was 20 years ago. Maybe Jennifer Tilly was a little bit more of a mainstream back then than she is now. Listening while working the staff. Yes, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. Good job, John. Welcome in, by the way. Yachty's here, too. Welcome in, Yachty. But we have Wallace Shawn. It plays one of the other servants in the house. But they're all ghosts. They're all ghosts. None of them are living. They're all ghosts. We had the little, the different scenes with the door, the doors, how the doors look like they're breathing, and they have the candelabras, and they have the different, they have the all the bus talking, singing the songs. They have all of that, which is great. They have those little nods, but the story itself, me, when I think Haunted Mansion, I know Haunted Mansion starts out, really serious and kind of scary, and then becomes kind of whimsical at the end in the ride. And I guess maybe that's what they were trying to get here. I don't know. It just, for me, it didn't work as well as I had hoped it was going to work, because I didn't like the way they did the story. The story just was, first off, it was too rushed. Gail Benton, Bonacorsi, yes, it's a Haunted Mansion meets Jungle Cruise. Kind of, because they kind of rushed this. It's only a 90-minute movie, and they tried to be joking throughout the whole thing. And Eddie Murphy really was kind of out of his element. As much as we have stuff like Axel Foley and stuff like that, this one's not as good for him. I don't think this movie was made for him. They probably could have cast this a little bit better. I don't know what you guys think in the chat. I'd like you to tell me, but I didn't like that. Let's see, how many corny jokes like yours or like Jeff's from Desire Dream? Not quite dad jokes. It wasn't like, he had the one scene where he's seeing Madame Leota and he's in the chair and the chair goes up in the air, and it just, the effects aren't as good back then as they are today. It just didn't seem that, I don't know. I maybe I wanted it to be a little bit more, not so much scary, like, oh my God, like terrible scary, but just a little bit more on edge would have been nicer for me. The whole point with the kids are there, but they don't really have, I guess they kind of help in the end to save the mom, but I don't know. I don't like the entire story that they were telling. I like that he's Evers and Evers Realty and they're trying to sell the home. That's okay. I just don't like how they, I don't know. The execution wasn't that good. And I don't know if we need to blame the director for that. And obviously it shows in the Rotten Tomatoes and in the IMDb, because it got terrible ratings. None of the ratings were over 35. And that's not good. Hi, Tyler. Welcome in. But that's what it was all about. It was ultimately about trying to lift this curse, but in a bad way. Because what Terrence Stamp ultimately wanted to do is he wanted to kill her and pretend she was Elizabeth when she really wasn't, so that the master and everybody else could go to heaven. And where it becomes kind of weird for me is ultimately they don't do that. She gets away, and yet they still go to heaven. Again, maybe you guys can explain it to me. Murphy is so talented, but I agree the script for him did not highlight his humor style. Exactly. Lampwick Lounge, I agree. His humor style is a little bit more edgier. Think Axel Foley, that kind of, humor is more Eddie Murphy. A little bit more adult content is what Eddie Murphy is. I actually think in today's world, if they were to redo this, if they're going to do it again as a comedy, I would think that actually Kevin Hart might be a good role for this. His type of humor is perfect for this kind of role. That's the guy that I think would be a good, if they're going to redo it as humor, because remember, they're going to redo this movie. They're remaking it again. They're going to kind of reboot it over. I don't know if they're going serious, if they're going comedy again, if they're going semi-serious. I don't know. So I'm interested to see. Craig Robotics says that Eddie Murphy did an okay job, but clearly out of his elements. Historically, those of us who are familiar with the old school Eddie could understand. Exactly. When you think of the old Eddie Murphy, you're thinking 48 Hours. You're thinking Axel Foley and Beverly Hills Cops. Those types of roles where he's a little bit more, I don't want to say vulgar, but he's a little bit more adult for sure in the way his humor is. He's not like that in that. Because when he does those types of roles, like a Haunted Mansion, Daddy Daycare, Pluto Nash, none of them are successful. They're just not successful for him. It's not, The Golden Child. Even though that was more his humor, that one didn't go over for him, even though I liked him in that role. So we'll probably have a limited stream tonight because Dan's not here. We may readdress this a little bit next week. But I do want to go into a lot of different things about this movie, though. For me, I'll say this about it. I watched it all the way through. It was only the second time I had seen it when I watched it this week. First time I watched it was the only time since. I've never rewatched it. I just was not happy with the movie. Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Nico the Greco. When I think Eddie Murphy, it's just a little bit more adult humor as to how we see him. You know, Steve Carell might be fun as well. I agree. I mean, these are the types of characters I want. I want somebody that when they're scared, they look scared and they act scared and they're funny scared. Eddie Murphy's not like that, not for the most part. Kevin Hart, when he's scared, it's hilarious. It really is. Like Abbott and Costello. When we used to have Abbott and Costello, you know, he was hilarious. Costello was hilarious when he was scared. You know, Abbott and Costello meets the Mummy, meets Dracula. He was always so scary. I mean, he was always so scared, and he was hilarious when he was scared. That's the kind of person I want in the role. What's up, Nathan? Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. It was for the Haunted Mansion, Hannah. It was definitely a little corny. I just wish the story was a little bit better. I wasn't happy with the casting choices. Terrence Stamp as the weird, you know, a little bit creepy butler. He was okay. That was fine. It's a good role for him. He's suited for that. Everybody else that was cast in the role, actually Sarah, the wife, I liked her. She was fine. Master Gracie, he was okay. I didn't like Eddie Murphy in the main role as Evers. He wasn't my favorite. Noel Ash, welcome in. And I love Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie Murphy. The kids were okay as well. Not great. Wallace Shawn and the other lady, they were okay. It just wasn't great. Randall Smith, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. I did watch it. I was amused enough and entertained enough to be able to get through it on one sitting, even though it was the second time I was watching. But it's not something that if it's on TV that I'll probably watch. Dina Waters is her name. Yeah, they were fine, but they were in it very limited. Jennifer Tilly as Madame Leota was that was just a bad casting. Her voice was more annoying than it was supposed to be creepy or spooky. Yeah, Nutty Professor, but again, even in Nutty Professor, it's his type of humor. Okay, you're right. He does okay in Nutty Professor. Abbott Costello, come on, Walt. I don't think any 80-year-olds are tuning in to your live show. No, they're not, but it's still good comedy for sure. Love these movie review streams. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't think that was they could have done so much better with a Madame Leota. But again, they were doing it because the movie was supposed to be corny and funny and whimsical. And that's probably why they chose her. They didn't want it to be someone who was going to be creepy and spooky and somewhat serious. You know, so maybe that's why they chose her. But I don't know. So overall, I thought the acting was okay in the movie. I thought the story they told was okay in the movie. The effects were, in today's world, below par. Yeah, unfortunately it was, Randall. I agree. Stacy knows Abbott and Costello. Yeah, they're great. I think the special effects were below par. Nothing even looked halfway real. You could tell a lot of it was green screens and just, you know, digital imaging. I can't say if I'll rush back to it, but I managed it in one sitting like it was all right. Okay. But I want to hear from you guys. As we're about 30 minutes into this, but I want to talk a little bit more about the Haunted Mansion's presence in the parks and moving forward. But I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me know, what is your letter grade on this movie? How do you rate it? What do you give it? Do you give it an A+ or do you give it an F? Let me know all the way down from an A+ to an F. Let me know what your grade is and why it's your grade. That's important. I want to know why, not just, hey, it's an A. I want to know why it's an A. Strasburg Thomas, welcome in. So if you're going to give it an F, tell me why you're giving it an F, Randall. I'd like to know. Because I think it's important that we, you know, because, okay, right, fair enough. Okay, yeah, right. So Randall gives it an F. Craig Robotics gives it a B-. Okay. Dan wasn't feeling well, Strasburg. He's a little under the weather. He was hoping he was going to be able to do it. He came in and told me, he said, I'm not feeling great, but I'm going to try. I said, okay, great. Yeah, we'll do it. Go as long as you can. So I think he's got a little bit of a tummy bug. So Daniel had to bow out tonight. So I'll give you my grade while I'm waiting for you guys to give your grades. Overall, like I said, story wasn't great. Acting wasn't great. Effects were below par, in my opinion. Nothing really stood out about it. No one character was I a big fan of. I really even wasn't a big fan of any one scene. So for me, I hate to say it, but I got to give this, if I can find it here, I got to give it a D. I'm not a big fan of the movie. I would not go back and watch it again. And I am, if you know me, I am a huge, huge, huge Haunted Mansion fan. That's my favorite ride in Walt Disney World. So for me, I wanted this to hit it out of the park, but it did not do it. It just didn't. Scott Fitzgerald says he gives it a B, primarily based upon the fact that I enjoyed the attraction so much. Fair enough. Sandra G, welcome in. Saw both the Muppet version and the Eddie Murphy version. I just wish they'd stick with that, with what the Haunted Mansion is. I give it a D for both. Okay, fair enough. I think it's pretty fun, a pretty formulaic film, very cringe, paid no real actual homage to the ride, had no authenticity, horrible effects, story was cringy, and quite frankly, I stopped watching. I get it. I get it. Nico DeGrico says D-. I've never been able to get through it all. Strasburg, I have a question. Do I get a mod yet, or is it soon? It's too soon, Strasburg, buddy. Craig says B-. I tried to incorporate different areas of the ride attraction, so I commend them for that. It tried. I'm a big fan of Rick Baker, and he did a great job on costuming and makeup. Okay. Hey, Cynthia, welcome in. Good to see Cynthia. Candy Mom, our first member. I'd have to give it a D. Seems a bit corny. Not a fan. Not the best Eddie Murphy film. No, not at all. Joey's World's in the house. Welcome in. Hey, Dawn's in a G- just because we love the attraction. Yep, same thing. I agree. All right, let's see. Hannah says the movie was okay. It wasn't the best, but it did capture my attention purely because I was laughing at how bad the humor was. There you go. And then, however, if you would go to the movie with me, I would gladly snuggle up with a big bowl of popcorn and watch it. There you go. Oh, my gosh. But again, this movie is based off the ride first. And I think that's a big telling of why it didn't work for them. They were trying to capitalize off of the success of what Pirates did. What Pirates had, first off, they hit a touchdown with the casting. Everybody loves Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. Will Turner was fantastic. You know, Elizabeth Swann was fantastic. Barbossa was fantastic. There's so many great characters in that. It told a really good story. The acting was amazing. Just everything about the Pirates was amazing. They tried to duplicate that with Haunted Mansion, and it didn't work. It just did not work. Because what they didn't do, they weren't able to do what Pirates did. Pirates was able to incorporate action and comedy fluidly together. They'd mix in the fun parts where they had to, but they also told a really good action swashbuckling movie. Haunted Mansion couldn't do that mixing of creepy, scary, and comedy together. They couldn't mesh it. Doesn't work. They did it with Pirates. They couldn't do it here. And I think that's part of the reason why the movie failed. They put more effort into Pirates. I don't know if they did or not. You know, it's different. It's different directors. It's different things. I don't know. I agree. D is a fair score because of our love for the attraction. I'm definitely excited for the remake. I'm hopeful. Lampwick Lounge. I'm hopeful for the remake. Muppets Haunted Mansion was 100 times better. They got it right. Haunted Mansion Muppets was fun. I did like it. Never saw it. Don't think it's going to be a bucket list movie now. All right, John. We always say this. Go see it. Go see the movie. Watch it. You may like it. CNR Bloomis gives it a D. Have seen the movie once and wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. I agree. You know what, Cynthia? Johnny's hit or miss when it comes to these types of roles. I think if he was going to have to do anything, he would have to be probably Master Gracie. That's who he would have to be. I don't know that he could be what Eddie Murphy was. I think he would have to be Master Gracie. Because see, as well as I think he did as Johnny Depp did as Pirate Captain Jack, he was horrible as Willy Wonka. I'm sorry. He was terrible as Willy Wonka. I did not like him in Willy Wonka at all. I just didn't. So he could be hit or miss as the Haunted Mansion guy, but he would have to be Master Gracie. Kay Atwood, welcome in. Hey guys, working so I can't chat, but listening, welcome in. Yeah, I think he would have to be Master Gracie. I don't see any other role that he would be able to do other than that. I mean, he did Dark Shadows. So he was what, Barnabas? You know, in Dark Shadows, which had a fantastic opening scene, and then the movie just fell apart from there, which was too bad. I was really hoping it was going to be good. Jeff Condon, welcome in. Hi, Walt. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late, Walt. Never late. You're here. That's all that matters. I have to say it might be an unpopular opinion, but I enjoyed the ride overlay of the Haunted Mansion Nightmare for Christmas more than the regular Haunted Mansion. Nico de Greco, it's probably not an unpopular opinion. I hear a lot of people say that they really enjoy this. And that's another thing I want to talk about. Look, Haunted Mansion is so widely popular and loved throughout Disney fans. It's my favorite ride in all of Walt Disney World. It's not Melissa's favorite, but it's right up there. Everybody loves the Haunted Mansion. They do. You just do. It's so unique. It's unlike anything else. They have it in the parades. They have merchandise. They have all kinds of different Haunted Mansion stuff everywhere. The ride is widely popular. It's all over the world in all the different parks in some capacity, whether it be Mystic Manor, or whether it be any of the other ones that are in the different parks. It's a version of it. It is beloved. Hey, welcome in, Mr. Fulton Moran's. Welcome in. Yes, happy birthday to Pete, by the way. Today's Pete's birthday, or was it yesterday? I think it's today. But they just didn't get it right with the movie. I was so excited when this was going to come out. I was excited. I really was. I was really like, wow, they killed it with Pirates. I think they're going to kill it with this. And they didn't. They really, really didn't. Which is kind of a bummer. I really wish they would have. But they are remaking this again. And I don't know if they've given us a lot of the cast yet, but there is some cast that's going to be in it. I just don't know who their names are. I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. But then again, I've not been a real big fan of what Disney's been doing lately with a lot of different things. I think they put less into story and more into other things that are unnecessary. What's up, Chris? Disney Baker's here. Welcome in, buddy. You're 6'9". Why are you doing up there again? Back up in Maryland. Are you up there for Pete's birthday? Cool. But I think this is, hey, Braves fan, welcome in. Good to have you here. I'm an Orioles fan, but welcome in. Good to have you here. Everybody say hi to Braves fan. I think the Haunted Mansion is going to be around for forever. I can't wait to get to Disneyland in 2 weeks so we can ride the Haunted Mansion out there. I've heard great things about it. The overlay is going to be in place for Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas overlay will be up and running by the time we get there, which I think is great. Al Pacino as Master Gracie. I don't know. Ian McKellen would be a Master Gracie. I could see him being Master Gracie. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I think there's a possibility that there could be some things changed. With this new movie, I'm hoping this new movie is going to be a little bit more serious. I don't need it to be a full-on horror film, but what I think I want a thriller. I think that's what I want. I think I want a thriller. I almost want a whodunit kind of thing for this Haunted Mansion movie. That's kind of what I think I would like to see. But then again, that's just me. I love how they incorporate the ride, the merchandise, and everything into the parades and in all the parks. It's just amazing. And I wish they did more of it. Everybody loves the hitchhiking ghosts. Everybody loves the grave diggers in the parade. It's just a big part of it. Share Bear, welcome in. It shows you how popular this is. And that's why I think Disney is revisiting this. Okay, like Tomorrowland. They did the Tomorrowland movie with George Clooney. It didn't do well. I don't think they're going to revisit that. They're revisiting Haunted Mansion because they understand the potential behind what they could do with this if they get it right. If they get it right, they could have a franchise on their hands. They really could. They could tell a 2 to 3 trilogy story throughout. They really could if they do it right. That would really keep us all on the edge of our seats. And I think that's the big point here. They got to get it right. Tell the story. You don't have to appease everybody. Just tell the right story. Get the right people in place and leave it at that. And I hope they do. We will see. I don't know. But guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm sorry we didn't go live last night for the Saturday. We took the night off. We had a few things we were doing. Let's see. What's this Hannah say? Couldn't be giving such a beloved attraction a second chance with a movie as the first was a bit of a bust. Yeah, exactly. But they will. They're going to give it another shot. I'm excited. And I'm not excited. I'm hopeful. I'm going to leave it at hopeful. But I will say a couple things that are coming up. Of course, She-Hulk is out right now. Everybody's watching She-Hulk. The new Game of Thrones or House of Dragon is now out. The Lord of the Rings series will be out starting next week, which I think a lot of people are excited for. There is a ton of television out there to be seen right now. Lots of really polarizing opinions on whether or not something's going to be good or bad. I'm sure there's plenty of people talking about that as well. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was. We needed a night to do some stuff. They could tell the stories of other Haunted Mansion rides. They could, Kay. I mean, Haunted Mansion. They don't necessarily have to tell the Master Gracey story. You're right, but he can still be in there. You know, Master Gracey can still be there. The hitchhiking bones can. I mean, the hitchhiking ghosts. Hitchhiking bones. Hitchhiking ghosts can be there. There's a lot of different things they could do with it. They could make it almost like an anthology series, and I'll give you a hint of what I mean by that. Anybody ever watch American Horror Story? They could still do that and center it around the mansion itself. They could tell different stories in the mansion. One of them could be a whodunit. Another one could be a supernatural. Another one could. There's all different ways they could do it, but still center it around the Haunted Mansion. There's a lot of different things they could do if they really wanted to. But, you know, we'll see. But that's what we are doing. Of course, everybody, don't forget this weekend. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining me today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. We lost Dan. I always like to get his opinions in here. But remember a little bit about this weekend. I like to read the chat to you guys, too. Shara says, do you think they have the Imagineers left with the amazing creativity Disney's known for? Shara Bear, I don't know. I mean, I can't, you know, I think, I don't know. I don't want to, I don't know. See you soon, man. Thanks again for the time at Disney's Hollywood Studios. We need to debrief Thrones. Episode 1 was rough. I'll say this real fast, Lampwick Lounge. The first episode of the House of Dragon, they said it was the highest rated, you know, did better than Game of Thrones. Well, of course it did better than Game of Thrones. Back when Game of Thrones debuted, episode 1, nobody knew what it was. Nobody understood. Nobody knew it. Nobody really knew whether it was going to be good or not. This show has the pedigree of Game of Thrones on its back to help it. People love Game of Thrones. It's got that, like Star Wars. You know, any Star Wars movie, it's got Star Wars or Marvel next to it or Harry Potter next to it. It's automatically going to do well, at least box office and Nielsen ratings wise. But is it a good story? That's the key. And the first episode of this show, I remember vividly the first episode of Game of Thrones. Ned Stark, Cersei Lannister, Jaime, Tyrion, they all stood out. They all were larger than life in that first episode. I watched House of Dragons. I was like, I didn't care for any of the characters. None of them. None of them stood out. Nobody stood out as a compelling, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens next with this character. You can get that with one episode if you really want to. And I don't feel for me that they did that. And that's probably a good thing, Jeanette. The first few seasons of Game of Thrones is some of the best television. It's very graphic, violent-wise and adult-wise, if you know what I mean. It can be very graphic, but it's great acting, great writing, incredible scenery, and just tells a great story. It really does. And to me, I guess that's another reason why I'm a little bit not too sure about House of Dragons, because they've already told this story. Again, it's the fight over a crown. It's all about sitting on the throne. We've been there, done that. I'll watch it probably just because. But, you know, we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Disney Movie Review. I'm sorry it was a little bit short-lived. Everybody, please pray for Dan. Let's go over a few things. Of course, Dean over at The Live Place. Check him out for theliveplace.com. He is family-friendly streams throughout the week. Disney Dan, Steve's World, Desire Dream, Pete McDevitt, all of them are partner channels. Check them out. Thank you to all of our members. Again, members, you guys are amazing. Your extra generosity and loyalty is just, there's not enough words for us to say it. Thank you for anybody just coming into the chat and watching. Even if you're not chatting, if you're just watching, thank you for just being there. We really do mean that. At first, the ending of Game of Thrones, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Watching it all again, the ending made sense. I just think they rushed it, Sandra. The last season shouldn't have been 6 episodes. It should have been like 10 to 12. Sorry. You can't rush the ending. You've got to really tell it right. I don't think they did. Hannah, I do know we got Aquaman from that show. What show? Oh, did I miss something, Hannah said? I need to have a rewatch. Yeah, we did. That's where they got Jason Momoa from, for sure. Daniel was not feeling well, unfortunately. He was gonna kind of try to push through, but he couldn't do it. But guys, don't forget, let's talk about this weekend, because before you all go, we've got a ton going on this weekend. Friday night, we are doing a birthday stream for Melissa. Melissa's birthday is actually tomorrow, so if you guys send her birthday wishes, be sure to let her know. Tomorrow, the 25th of August, is Melissa's actual birthday. But on Friday, we are staying at the Contemporary this weekend for her birthday. So Friday night, we're going to do a Contemporary birthday stream. And we're also going to show you guys the fireworks from Magic Kingdom. It's a party night. It's a Halloween party night, so it won't be Enchantment. It'll be the Halloween fireworks that you'll be watching with us on Friday night. We'll do that from our room, right from our room. They'll be pumping in the music and all that. So I hope you guys can come out. I know all those over the pond, it might be a little late for you guys. If you want to watch the replay, that'd be great. But we'll be live. Hey, Al, welcome in, buddy. No problem. Friday night, probably about 7, 8 o'clock, because the fireworks don't start till 10. Celebrating Melissa's birthday. I hope you guys can all come out and wish her a very happy birthday on Friday. We'd appreciate that. And then, of course, Saturday, we're going to be at Epcot for a scavenger hunt. That's going to be amazing. I hope you guys can join us for that. And then Sunday back at Magic Kingdom. And that's going to be amazing. And then in less than 2 weeks, Melissa and I will be on our way on a plane to Disneyland for the very first time. We are getting excited. Cannot wait for it. We will be bringing you guys along on the rides, taking in all the sights and sounds. Obviously, we'll take a little bit of time for ourselves as well, but we will be bringing you guys along. D23, I'll be doing a daily stream talking about what we saw and what we heard at D23, giving you guys updates from D23. I can't take you into the rooms. They don't allow, videotaping and all that. But once the panels are done, we'll come out. We'll do a stream. We'll talk about it that day. At the end of the day, everything we learned, all the big events, and it's going to be great. I hope you guys can join us for all this coming up. We've got a lot coming for sure. You know what? I don't really know that we haven't really kind of thought about that, to be honest with you. We haven't really reached out. We probably should have. We may. I know there's a lot of people that know we're coming. I don't want to take their time. We're not there that long. We're there for a few days, but not too long. I hope we can. I'd love to say hi to a few folks. Hollywood George, welcome in. I personally love this movie. That's good. I'm glad you like it. I wish I could concur. I didn't like the casting. I didn't think the casting was great. The story was a little too, I don't know. I didn't like the story it told. It was I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I watched it. I didn't hate it. I gave it a D. Oh, I can't wait, Hannah. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a blast. That's right. Isn't that like next week, Hannah? Aren't you here next week or the week after or something like that? I can't wait to see you too. It's going to be great. Anyway, guys, Mr. Fulton Moraz, I did see the live-action Pinocchio trailer. I'm not a big fan of live-action films. I haven't liked any of them. I don't need Disney to redo something they've already done. But that's just me. What do I know? I don't have a nonstop flight, Al. 12 days. Nice. Nice. But I'm okay with that, Al. I don't know that I want to be on a plane for a full 5 hours. I'd rather stop, fly for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, stop, fly for another 2.5 hours. We'll see. Yeah, Jeanette, that's just me. I'm just not a big fan of live action film. I don't need you to redo Beauty and the Beast as a live action because I'm not going to like it. It's a double-edged sword. If you do the exact same thing, I'm going to be like, why did you do it in the first place? It's the exact same thing. And then if you do something different, I'm going to be mad because I'm going to be like, it's totally different and I hate it. So you can't win with me. That's why I don't like live actions, because you've already done it. Come up with something new. It's called, you're supposed to be Imagineers, right? They're supposed to be some really smart people. Come up with new stories. Come up with new ideas. Here's a novel concept. They don't do that as much anymore. They need to get back to that. But what do I know? See, I hated Cinderella was meh. I hated Maleficent, Cynthia. I'm sorry. She was never, you can't, I don't care how you try to spin it. It's Maleficent. She's never been a good guy. You can't spin that for me. I'm sorry, but that's just me. We're getting into other things. I'm sorry. Yeah, get the creative juices flowing, which they don't do anymore. But why do they have to? They know that they can bring something that has an IP name to it, like Star Wars or like Marvel or this, that, and the other, and make it mediocre and not tell a really good story. And they're still going to make tons of money because we're going to go see it because it's got that name attached to it. That's the problem. You ate my chips. I did eat your chips. Sorry, I didn't know you wanted them. That's just me. I don't know. What do I know? I like Rocky 3. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, my favorite Rocky is Rocky 2. I love Rocky 2. That's just me. Anyway, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. We will see you this weekend. I hope everybody has a good one. Thank you all for being here. We love you guys. We hope to see you all this weekend for some really fun streams. And then I've got an idea for a really, really, really big stream coming up. One that I think will be extremely hard on me, but I think you guys will like. And no, it's not Tower Terror, but it is park related. And as I get that a little bit more concrete, you know, in place, we'll be letting you know about it. Anyway, sorry about your chips, Melissa. It was a bag of chips. She doesn't want them. Guys, have a great week. Until next time. Yes, exactly. Fun stream. Good night, everybody. Yes, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you all Friday night. Have a great night. Bye. See if I can do this right like I did it wrong the other day. Hi.